Hold on, I'm about to make the little intro real quick. Hello, 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 hello. I got a mic, y'all. Everybody that talk about my videos because I ain't got no mic. Boom, what this is right here. A little mic.
Oh, you be vlogging it?
Yeah, I be talking, I don't do no voiceovers. Alright, so today let me make sure y'all can see me. Let me show y'all boys can see me. Today we're gonna be showing y'all how to do a high taper. The thing is with this typical haircut, we're not gonna cut everything all the way down. We're probably gonna start we're gonna stop about the 1.5 guard. And basically the first thing what you wanna do, y'all, I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. We getting straight into the haircut. We're not gonna, straight action and give y'all this information for them. But we're gonna cut it down with the 1.5 guard, and the first thing you wanna do is obviously just comb everything out, making sure everything is nice and lifted off the scalp, and kind of getting it prepped and ready for our foundational type stuff. The foundation is really set, having everything at a lower base or a starting base. You don't wanna do the whole entire fade, and then finally start trying to debulk, because really this hair up here is really around the 3 guard. But if we debulk everything, if we use the 1.5 to debulk everything, and we already then fade into a number 3 guard, then it wouldn't make no sense. We'll have to restart our whole entire fade, and we want to kind of avoid that. Well, we don't want to kind of avoid that. We want to avoid that. So we're going to debulk everything first, taking it down with the 1.5 guard. The highest guard that we're going to use is the number 2 guard, because I know that everything is down with the 1.5 guard. So anything above that that's going to take out that bulk from the 1.5 guard will be the 2 guard. But look, we didn't comb everything out. We're about to get into send out guidelines. We're about to get into this fire tutorial. But everything is kind of, you watch somebody else do a certain thing, or you watch some type of video or anything like that, that kind of was like, oh, let me do this or let me do that, or kind of give you information. But some people it kind of grabs, or the concept is kind of grabs faster than other people for real. So with school, I might have went to barber school, but the other kids didn't grasp the concept of it. But really, barber school don't really teach you anything at all. That's the problem. Barber school teaches you it just teaches you how to pass the test, like the disinfectant knowledge and stuff like that. But it actually doesn't teach you extremely how to cut hair at a high level for real.
Of the game, bro. You don't mind.
Yes, I study.
You got people out here that really don't want to say that, oh, I got help from this person.
Yeah.
But that's crazy.
I used to sit there late at night on nobody. The thing is, it's understandable, because why would you want everybody else? Teaching your content is another way to have another type of revenue. So teaching content to other people, y'all, we just set in all our guidelines. The reason why I set in my guidelines first is to avoid all this. We're not going to be fading all these little pieces right here to avoid cutting that down. What we did, we just knocked it off before we even started. That's only because we can actually see what's going on. If all this hair was like a number 5 guard truly, and it was all like a lot of bulk, like way up here from off of his let me turn him a little bit. If it was like way up here and we couldn't see no guidelines, obviously we'll debulk first. But since we can kind of see when we debulk in our guidelines and stuff like that, we're gonna get all this hair that we don't want, off first, and then we're gonna start to debulk. And the reason why I chose to send his guideline like this is because it's a high taper. High tapers have this, you want to start from the bottom of the C cup, or the beginning of the C cup, the bottom of the box, and then take it to the kind of like the furthest point by his ear, or the lowest point where it doesn't really start the curve, but where it'll make just a straight line. And you want to preserve most of this, because this line right here and this right here really preserves and really brings out the high taper look. And when you're doing high taper, we're not going to fade in too high. We're going to fade into about right here for real. It's just so when you make a high taper low, you bring out this designated line right here and this line in the back. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now we're going to continue with our 1.5 guard, level all the way closed. Level all the way closed leaves less hair. Level all the way open leaves most hair. And we're going to go with the grain. Going against the grain will be this way. And going against the grain will cut it down even lower than a true 1.5. So we're going to go with the grain, and we're going to knock everything down. So the first thing when starting this high taper, what you want to do is you want to go up. Usually people go up about 1 inch, but we're going to do around 1/2 inch. We're not really going to do that much or go up too high. That's the trick about making a high taper a low high taper basically. So we're going to use our brush comb, and we're just going to start our fading down process. We set in this second guideline right here with the level all the way open. Now we're going to slowly close the level until we get to where we first started at with the level all the way closed. So level all the way open. close it down a little bit. It don't really take too long at all. This process and this trick, it works on every single hair texture. Straight hair, curly hair, coarse hair. Close the lever a little bit. And all this part is faded out right there. And because I know that I cut everything down with the 1.5 guard, the 2 guard is going to be the guard to debulk all this hair up here. So we're going to do it with the lever all the way open just to make sure, just to follow through. We're going to lower the chair a little bit. And we're going to go all the way up to the top of his head. Just debulking everything. Comb all that down. I'm using the comb. Now we're going to slowly start working down with the number 2 guard. Same exact process, fading down. And y'all, I am using my wall scenes. My wall scenes don't really have a click lever system. It's kind of just lever play, but I divide it into 4 different segments. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is halfway. I'm showing y'all this is halfway, and I have a notch that's a little bit above halfway and a little bit below halfway, and then we got all the way open and we got all the way closed. Every time we start with a new guideline, the lever is all the way open. Now we're moving down with our 1.5 guard. Lever all the way open, and then we're going to slowly close the lever and move down. Every time you close the lever and every time you move down, you should never be in the same exact spot. You should always be in a whole new spot. That's how we preserve our fader. That's how we don't cut up too high or blend up too high or anything like that. 1 guard, lever all the way open. And we pick up where we left off from the previous guard. So if I left off from the 1.5, that's where I'm picking up from with this 1 guard. Then slowly closing. And as y'all seen just now, I'm kind of detailing as I go, so I don't waste time. So I don't have to do the whole haircut and then detail. Maybe if I have extra time, I will detail, but you know, it's kind of a process. As soon as you fade down, go back up in the 1.5 guard area and detail. Basically splitting 2 hairs into 1. It's just as simple as that, of basically dividing hairs, making the blend look a lot more smoother than what it really is. So we're gonna see if we can zoom in on y'all. We can't. I'm gonna get a little bit closer so I can see this taper. And the taper is almost complete. Now we got our smallest guard. This is the half guard, lever all the way open. And now we're just playing with this little line at the bottom. Say little line. Now we're playing with this line at the bottom, slowly closing the lever until that line starts fading out. When we flick out, I'm gonna see the line start to fade or start to go away. That's how I know I need to turn my clippers over and start detailing, because I don't want to make another guideline. So we're just gonna take that line out, continue to take that line out like this. And what y'all can do to make the blend a lot more smoother is our rake down technique. Boom. The rake down technique basically just brings everything in its correct order, or the hair in its correct order, and lays everything down. This is a little bit more advanced, I would say, technique, but I'm still gonna show y'all and everything, so y'all could you know, implement this or try to concentrate this and bring this into y'all arsenal, I would say. So the first thing we're gonna do for the back is basically the same. Let me zoom in a little bit so I can see this. Y'all need this. Y'all need this close-up view. We're not hiding nothing, everything camera HD and everything. We don't need to hide nothing, because I have confidence in my work. Anybody who sits in my chair, anybody who does a YouTube video, I do a YouTube video, I automatically have confidence before. I haven't cut this young man's hair in probably a whole year, I would say, or maybe a little bit under a year. But I already know as soon as you sit down in a chair, it's gonna be a fire haircut. I already know what to do basically because of repetition, doing it over and over and over again until, you know, it kind of just seems normal. Doing that at a high pace frequency, always making sure everybody gets out here with a high level haircut. So now it's kind of just normal when somebody sits in my chair to kind of just, I don't have to focus on giving nobody a high level haircut because it's already kind of sold or kind of instilled in me, I would say. But first thing we're gonna do, same thing we did for the sides. Back here, we could kind of go up a little bit higher because as you can see, he has a lot more room when it comes to his neck area, so he can kind of extend the blend a little bit. Lever all the way open. We're gonna show you how fast this is. Slowly close the lever and work your way down. Boom. Right there. Now we're gonna take our number 2 guard. We're gonna switch to our comb. Lever all the way open. And we're not really using no flick out motion, anything like that. Flicking out is used to carry weight to the top of the head. We don't really need any weight. We have it down to a certain length, or we don't have no hair that we want sitting on top of the hair. we don't have no hair that we want. Basically, this hair sitting on top of this hair right here, so we're good. We don't have to use no flick out motion. We could just really just blend the hair and just cut into everything. Slowly moving down till we reach the level all the way closed. Now we move to our 1.5 guard, level all the way open, and we're going to the designated spot where we left off with our number 2 guard. And I'm making sure I'm getting everything before I move on to another section. And before I move the level close, I don't fade out this area, go all the way down, and then open up the level, go to this one. I'm doing it all in one motion. And I'm slowly going down. See, I'm going back into the 2 guard area, using my corners with this 1.5 and detailing. Now I'm going back to what I previously was doing and keep moving down. Just keep moving down, keep moving down, keep moving down. Very simple. I hope y'all can hear me with this mic. I'm excited I got a mic for this video. Now we move down with the 1 guard. 1 guard, you could kind of use your brush almost. 1 guard all the way open. Or you could choose to use a comb. It all depends on you. And as I'm fading down, something that I probably need to mention before I started doing the taper is I'm following the same exact shape that I had set in previously. No matter how much I'm fading, I'm not fading like this. That's gonna mess up the shape. I'm fading like this. Turning my clippers to the side, moving how the taper moves, how our foundation was set in basically with this first guideline right here. The first ball guideline. And as y'all can see, it's becoming a beautiful, 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 beautiful taper. Very beautiful. If you want, you can go back up, detail in the 1.5 area, which you really don't need really much detail for real. It's already good. Now, level all the way open, and just playing with this bottom line. That's all we need to do. With this half guard, is really, you're not really fading too much. All you really need to focus on is taking out this bottom line right here. So you want to get to a point to where that bottom line kind of just starts fading out or disappearing. We got our level closed just a little bit. Around this mark, the line is kind of just fading out. So now we can start closing a little bit. We close it just a tad bit, and now we're using our corners. There's no need to use the whole clipper no more or use the whole blade. We're just using our corners to kind of clean up everything. And that is it. Let me dust everything off. This is a high taper for the back. Now we're gonna get into the lineup. So for our client, as y'all can see, first thing we wanna do when starting the lineup is dictate the strong side and the weak side. Let me see. Which side y'all think is the strong side and the weak side? We have a few seconds. It's slightly off, or slightly, I would say, you can slightly tell, but this side, his left side will be his weak side. As you can see right here, he kind of has less hair right here and less hair right here. But this side is dominantly full. So what we want to line up this left side first and then work towards this right side. And that's what we're about to do. When first starting off, when it comes to a lineup, what you want to do, let me just make sure the camera focus. Start in the middle. You always want to start in the middle. Make a straight line. I use the people's nose as my client's nose as a placement point, and I just travel up. And I make that first line right here. And I make sure it's straight. And boom, now since that foundation is set for my lineup, I can start working towards this left side. So that's what I'm gonna do. You can always take hair away, but you can bring it back. So if I was to line up the strong side first, and the strong side is physically more dominant than his left side, I could line up the strong side and make his lineup come down a little bit more. A tad, it's like off by like the taddest bit. I can make it down by like the taddest bit. But when I line up this side, I won't physically have a strong lineup unless I take this side back just a tad bit. So when you look at his lineup, now his lineup will be, let me switch. Now his lineup will physically just be like this instead of completely straight like this. So you can always take hair away, which I will do on this side, but I would never bring hair back. I would never be able to bring this hair back and just make hair appear there. And we don't want to get into the thing of using enhancements, just overusing enhancements, and now his lineup is basically just an enhanced. You're just basically lining up enhancements. We don't want that to happen because when he goes home, when he sweats, when he goes to play basketball, he was or is still a college basketball player. When he goes to play basketball game, we don't want him to sweat and all his lineup to be going, or one side of his lineup to be, you know, physically just non-present and then the other one just full. We don't want that to happen, so we take it back a little bit and then match the strong side with the weak side. And then we're gonna slowly just work to this left side, taking a step back, going back in, and we're only using the left portion of our clipper blade. We're not using the whole blade. We're just using the left portion till we get to our designated spot. And we're taking little incremental steps, and then we're stepping back just to make sure everything is straight. And then once you reach that straight, once you look at it and it's straight on one side, what I like to do is I like to go ahead and make the vertical bar. And because it's a high taper, this vertical bar will always just be a straight line. It will never have a curve in there. You don't start a high taper and then add a curve. Now all this area, I see a lot of YouTube barbers do that. You know, you could do whatever you want, but I'm gonna teach what I want to teach on this page. If I was to start a high taper, a lot of people fade a low taper like a high taper. They start fading all of this and they just add a C cup. Now, all this spot right here, just because I faded like a high taper, all this spot physically just doesn't have hair right here, and then the C cup wouldn't look thick. That's not the correct way to start a low taper or to do a low taper. This is the way for a high taper. And a high taper will always have this line, just a straight line, never a C cup or never any curvature. Now we're just gonna match this right side with the left side and work our way over. So what I did for this right side, I started back in the middle, and now I'm only using half of this blade, this right half of this blade, and I'm just moving over and creating my line. But with TikTok, I was using TikTok. I didn't got, like, you ever seen Sir Cruz? You know who Sir Cruz is?
I know that is.
He made a whole thing to my, reposted, did a remix to my stuff and everything. I deleted all my videos off of TikTok. The social media is another job. And when it's somebody like me that's trying to actually, like, grow with barbering for real, basically I'm posting on Facebook and all that as well, and posting on Snapchat as well. It's not my content or nothing like that, but it's me trying to promote my brand and stuff like that. So I'm sitting there posting on everything every single day. It's getting overwhelming, and I don't feel like doing social media no more. And then so I'm starting back doing TikTok for barbering. Man, I was doing like 80 something K or 70 something K on TikTok, but then I just deleted all my videos. It was kind of like I guess you could say a midlife crisis. I say I just deleted everything. I ain't gonna lie to you, but
And they gonna take the app away.
Nah, somebody else gonna buy it. Somebody else is gonna buy it. Yeah, somebody else gonna buy TikTok, and it's gonna be.
You think Instagram ever die out?
No.
Nah,
Everybody want the.
Everybody
I hate it when they gave everybody that blue check. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think you got a blue check, but you know I hate, man, because that's something that you really look forward to for real when grinding on Instagram for that blue check. But really, Instagram is a way for, like, I got found by my brand, the brand that sponsored me for real, or that I sponsor. They found me on Instagram. Instagram is such a big networking platform. They're not taking that away. No time soon. No time soon. So now to finish up the cut, as y'all can see, it's a nice, crispy lineup and everything. We don't need no enhancements at all. This is a non-enhanced haircut, but we're gonna add enhancements just to give it that extra pop that we need. But you can see his lineup is it's perfectly straight. What we're gonna add our pencil just to give it an extra pop. Don't press down too hard. Somebody had DM me on Instagram. It's like, man, I watch your videos, but how do you get that pencil line out? You don't press down. You don't put too much pressure. You don't put too much pressure on the lineup at all when putting on this pencil. You just want to trace it on there with a light hand, a very light hand, and then boom. Now we're gonna add our black spray, our enhancements, another form of enhancements, and we're gonna make it bounce off the card. That's my new way of doing it now. I kind of spray it on the card and just let it bounce off. We don't want like a crazy enhanced lineup. We still want it to look natural at the same time. That's what I focus on, a enhanced but natural looking cut. We don't want a lot of black spray for him to go out and people like, oh my gosh, his lineup is just a whole bunch of black spray and stuff like that. We want it to look like he almost doesn't have nothing on his lineup at all. We want it to look as natural as possible. I stay with like 2 sprays. I got this like 2 spray type of method that I do. 2 sprays and move on. Because sometimes when I was first starting off with the black spray, I wouldn't see like this. It's kind of hard to see like this air just coming out. Like y'all can't, I'm spraying this in front of the camera. Y'all cannot physically see it for real. So when we're spraying it on our clients, we're like, okay, it didn't really spray anything. Let me go ahead and spray his line up like that. Just put all this black spray on him. But it's actually spraying out air and it's spraying out the black spray for us. So, yo, that's another thing to be mindful of. So, all right, YouTube, this is a cut right here. A nice, clean, hot taper. We're going to turn them around and do a little spin around for y'all boys. Boom. Nice, clean back taper as well. I'm trying to move the camera kind of slow. This other side right here. Handsman's nice and clean, is nice and laid down on his, you know, it fits him and who he is and his skin color and his hair texture and whatnot. Let me show you the front. Can't show the cut without showing the liner, bro. Boom. Right there. But look, it's HYB. If you're not handling your business, what you're doing, and we out. I don't really be hearing it like talking about it, but I can hear. I don't like to watch my own videos because I can hear.
His accent, so
Yeah.
you think it's the best thing in the world.
I don't know why. Point in time where I didn't want to. Hold on, let me. Boom. Nice lineup, straight lineup. But yeah, man, y'all copy these steps. Y'all do it. You know, y'all learning. We're learning together as a whole, as a group. As I'm growing, I'm learning as well. As I'm teaching y'all, I'm learning as well. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Nice, clean, fire haircut.